Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's video lecture. So, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about the shape factor, load factor for steel sections, and the plastic moment conditions, and how to calculate the plastic section modulus of the sections. So, now in today's lecture, we'll continue our discussion for the plastic analysis. Okay. So, now there are some conditions in plastic analysis. So, there are three conditions, which are namely first is the equilibrium condition. This is summation of all forces and moments should be zero. So this condition is also applicable in case of elastic analysis of steel structures. Before this topic, before this plastic analysis, you have all whatever you have studied in your structural analysis was about the elasticity of structure. That was up to the elastic limit. Now we are going in this plastic analysis. So here also, like in the elastic analysis, in plastic analysis also, we have an equilibrium conditions. Here also, we have all the summation of all the forces in the plastic stage, summation of all the forces acting on the structure, and all the moments should be zero. Likewise, second is the mechanism condition. Okay, this mechanism condition, this is the structure at collapse must be capable of deforming as a mechanism due to formation of plastic hinges. That is, the ultimate load is reached when a mechanism is formed. So this condition is not in the elastic stage. So in the plastic stage, what is the condition? That when the formation of plastic hinges starts, when the structure is enters the plastic stage. Okay, so strain hardening starts and it enters the plasticity stage. So at that stage, plastic hinges will start occurring at various points depending on the location of the load and the curvature and the shape and all that and the fixity of the structure. Plastic hinges will start forming there. And the total formation after all this, the entire structure is which is redundant is being held plastic by formation of plastic hinges. The mechanism will form. Once the mechanism has been formed, that is completion of all plastic hinges has been formed, then the structure will start failing because the ultimate load or the collapse load will reach at that time. So this is what we are doing here. We are finding the ultimate load. So this can be only achieved by using this mechanism condition, okay, not the equilibrium condition. Yielding conditions, this is also called as plastic moment condition. As explained earlier, your yielding will start when the yielding starts, when the material reaches the lower yield point and the upper yield point. That's that portion. Yielding will start. Yielding will start. It will achieve yield stress. Okay, and then plastic condition will also will start, and that moment in that condition is called the plastic moment condition. And the bending moment at any section must not exceed the full plastic moment. At this condition, the bending moment in the yielding should be always less than the plastic moment. So this you already know. Okay. So next is the principle of virtual work. So this is one of the very important principle that is used to find out the ultimate collapse load in plastic structures, in plastic analysis. This is very, very important. You need to understand here that if a system of what does this principle say? If a system of forces in equilibrium is subjected to a virtual displacement, the work done by the external force equals the work done by the internal force. Now there is a system, say there is a beam, and it is acted upon by n number of forces, vertical forces, or maybe horizontal forces, whatever, or inclined forces. So n number of forces are acting on this beam, P1, P2 up to Pn. Now you are applying a virtual load. Okay, now some loads will be real, some load will be virtual. So what if suppose in virtual analysis, what we do is we apply a virtual load. Virtual load means in reality there is no load. You are assuming that a load is acting there. So based on those virtual load, there will be virtual displacement. The beam will start sagging. So there will be a deflection. That deflection is the vertical displacement, which is the virtual displacement. So virtual displacement is due to the virtual load. So whenever your beam bends, there is bending energy. Okay. So work energy will be stored. So energy stored is will be equal to work done. So due to the external force, your external work will be done. So the concept here is the external work due to the virtual force will equal the internal energy stored in the structure. So this is the principle of virtual work. Internal force and internal work and external work will be equal. Okay, this is the principle. So this principle will apply while solving the collapse load or the ultimate load for finding out the collapse load in plastic structure. So now there are two methods for doing the plastic analysis. One is the static method, another is the kinematic method. So it will have redundant members where you cannot find the degree of determinacy. So those forces, those redundant forces, you find first identify. Now the free and the redundant bending moment diagrams are drawn. Okay, so for the redundant part, you draw the bending moment diagram, and for the free portion also you draw the bending moment. So combine it. Now combined bending moment is drawn in such a way that the mechanism is formed. Okay, since this is plastic analysis, so mechanism has to form. In order for the structure to fail, the mechanism has to form. So what we do is we first draw the free bending moment, then we draw the redundant bending moment. Okay. Now we combine this. This combined bending moment we draw. Okay, to form the mechanism. Now the collapse load is found by working out the equilibrium equation. Here condition of equilibrium will be used to find the collapse load. Okay, so it is checked that the bending moment is not more than the fully plastic moment at any section. So this has to be checked that under any circumstance the bending moment should not be more than the plastic moment. Okay, in that section. So this is the static method. Kinematic method is this consists of locating the possible places of plastic hinges. So first you have to identify the location of plastic hinges that you have to identify. Yet I've already told you in the previous lectures that the location of plastic hinges will depend on the location of the load, location of change of structure or change of geometry or change of shape in the cross section. Okay, fixity of the structure, whether it is a fixed beam, whether it is a free beam, simply supported, anything. So these are some of the conditions, shape factor and all that. It will depend on all these things, the location of the possible location of hinges. So the collapse load is found out by applying the principle of virtual work. So here is the application of this principle of virtual work in the kinematic method. So bending moment diagram corresponding to the collapse mechanism is drawn, and it is checked that the bending moment is more than the, here it is not more than the fully plastic moment, like the other in the other case also. So here again, using the principle of virtual work, what we do with the external work done by the force, the virtual force will be equal to the internal work done by the structure. So we equate that and we find the collapse load. Okay, how we do it, we can understand by taking one illustrative example that we will do in the later subsequent class. So now there are various types of mechanism. What are the types of mechanism that are formed? Okay, when the structure has reached plastic stage, it will start, before that it will start yielding. Now it has reached the plastic stage. Formation of plastic hinges will occur. After formation of all the plastic hinges, the structure will form a mechanism, collapse mechanism, and it will fail. The moment it fails, the ultimate load, the collapse load is reached. So this is the flow chart, how a plastic structure is. Now, there are several mechanisms here. First is the beam mechanism, panel mechanism, joint mechanism, gable mechanism, and composite mechanism. Okay. So there are various, these mechanisms are used as per the usability of the structure. So consider this frame. So this is a combined portal frame. Okay. So this is one portal frame. So here, see, this one is the beam, this one is the column. Okay. These are the columns. Here, this beam is inclined. So these arrows, the vertical arrows, this will indicate the beam mechanism. So beam mechanism is acting on this beam. So this structure will deflect vertically like this. This structure will deflect somewhat like this. Okay. So here beam mechanism is applying. So this A, see here, this structure, for this structure. So for this structure, this thing, this is a beam. So this will deflect like this. This beam will deflect like this. So these dots, what are these dots? These dots are the location of formation of plastic hinges. So plastic hinge will be formed here since it is fixed here. Hinge will be formed here, and hinge will be formed under the load at this. So for this column, vertical, if we are looking in this plane, this is a column. If we take it as a beam, then this is the vertical load for this. In actual case, it is the horizontal load. But if you take it as a beam, if the column is considered as a beam, then this horizontal load will become a vertical load. So again, this will deflect and it will form a plastic hinge under the load. So for this, beam action is taking. Now for this thing also beam action is taking. See here. hinge will be formed here, hinge will be formed here, and hinge will be formed here. Okay. Now next, for this case, again beam action is taking. So beam mechanism means your failure mechanism will start acting as a beam. The structure will start acting as a beam, and it will start the deflection, and wherever the deflection takes place, maximum hinges will be formed. This is nothing but the beam mechanism. Panel mechanism. Okay. Sway mechanism. Sway mechanism is, suppose this is the lateral frame, this is the portal frame. So when you apply a lateral load, so it will sway. At say this lateral load may be wind load, so this entire frame will sway. Means this thing will go like this. This was the original frame. Now it has swayed like this. So this will also sway. This column will also sway. So this is sway mechanism. Okay. Joint mechanism means combined beam and sway mechanism. That is the joint mechanism. So also it is formed due to action of moment. The number of members at the joint should be more than 3 or not. At joint, wherever there is joint and number of members are more than 3, then this mechanism will be formed. Okay. Gable mechanism. So this is gable mechanism. It is exhibited in gable frames. Columns spread more at the top than that at the base. So see, this was the original structure. Now the deflection structure, the dotted line shows the deflected structure. So this is a gable portal frame. So it will deflect likewise. So this gable mechanism, this is generally not that much used. So either you have beam mechanism, sway mechanism, and combined mechanism. These are the 3 mechanisms that are being used for analyzing plastic analysis of a portal frame structure. Okay. So here combined mechanism or composite mechanism, combine action of beam and panel, sway or column. Okay. So these are the various kind of mechanism that we will use in finding out the collapse load for a portal frame. This is done here. Now types of section. Now we'll discuss about the types of section as per the plastic moment. Okay. So there are basically 4 kinds of sections. So now first is the plastic section. Okay. The plastic section, these are the cross section which can develop plastic hinges and have the rotation capacity required for failure of the structure by formation of plastic mechanism are called plastic section. Okay. Now what happened is these sections will exhibit considerable ductility. The stress distribution is rectangular. So let us understand here. Now whenever the structure is entering the plastic stage, okay, elastic, say it will go to yielding. After yielding, it will enter the plastic stage. Now whenever it is formed entering the plastic stage, the plastic hinges will start occurring. Okay, plastic hinges will start forming and the structure will start rotation. Now it has adequate amount of rotation capacity to form the mechanism. Now when the structure starts, when the plastic, due to formation of plastic hinges, structure will start rotation. Due to moment, plastic moment, development of plastic moment ensures rotation. Due to rotation, what happens is you have ductility. Now the ductility of the structure will start increasing, and it has, in the plastic stage, it has huge amount of ductility. So at that stage, the sections, the stress distribution will be rectangular. That means it has developed fully, it has developed into a fully plastic section. There is no triangular distribution. The entire section is plastic now. So this is the description of the plastic section. Okay. So we see in this figure. So this is also Connect class 1. So see this figure, this graph shows graph between the applied moment m and the rotation theta. So as and when you increase the moment, the rotation will start increasing. Okay. See, actually the graph is this. This graph is like this. Okay. This is the graph, right? This is the actual graph. But since this is curvilinear, this is not a straight line. So for our idealization, what we have done is we have idealized this into a straight line, into a combination of 2 straight lines. So this curve can be approximated as 2 straight lines like this. So up to here again, yielding, till yielding, say it will go to this plastic stage like this. So this is the ideal wave graph. Okay. Now see, this is theta 1, theta 2. These are rotation and displacement that is occurring in the structure. Okay. So now what happens is theta 1 is, what is theta 1? Theta 1 is the rotation at the onset of plasticity. So this is the location at which the plasticity will start. That means yield stress had reached and plasticity will start. So this is theta 1. And this is the rotation at which the plasticity will end, theta 2. So in this theta 1 to theta 2, the entire plastic structures will exhibit their properties. So theta 2 is much greater than theta 1, and your structural stage is here in this one. So this is called the plastic section. Okay. Now next is the compact section. So these are cross sections which can develop plastic moment of resistance but have inadequate plastic hinge rotation capacity for formation of the plastic mechanism before buckling. When the slenderness ratio is, what is slenderness ratio? Length of column by radius of gyration. Width to thickness ratio, that is the slenderness ratio. If the slenderness ratio for columns you have understood in strength of materials and in RCC structures, slenderness ratio is a very important aspect for analyzing a column. Okay, so if your structure is highly slender, it will buckle. Buckle means it will start to bend along a horizontal axis. It will start bending. So that bending is called the buckling. So what happens is in compact section, the plastic moment is reached. The yield stress has been reached. It is in the plastic stage, but the ductility is not sufficient enough to cause enough rotation like it was in the stage of plastic section. This is the basic difference. So what basically happens here is this is in this section, this part, compact. Okay, so it is less than theta 2. So this is less than theta 2. This is somewhere lying between this stage, this portion. So from here to here is the compact section. That means plastic hinges are forming. Okay, plastic hinges have just formed, but rotation has not developed fully. Plastic moment has not developed that much that it can cause the rotation of theta 2. Mechanism cannot be formed since rotation is not complete. Partial rotation has started. In the earlier stage, entire rotation was complete and it was entirely ductile. Now it is not entirely ductile. Full plastic moment of resistance is developing. It has started developing, but full is still not developed. So there is not enough rotation and hence not enough ductility. This is the compact section. So again, in this case also, the stress distribution is fully plastic and rectangular. Okay, but ductility is inadequate. This is the only difference, that inadequate ductility, rotation is not enough. Okay, so mechanism will not be formed. So this is compact section. Now most of the sections that we analyze in steel structures falls under this category. Remember one thing, compact section. Okay, very few sections will fall in plastic, but most of the section in ideal cases, in real life cases, will fall under this compact section. Now next is semi-compact. These are cross section in which the extreme fiber in the compression can reach yield stress but cannot develop plastic stage, plastic moment of resistance due to local buckling. After reaching the yield stress only, the slenderness ratio is that much high. It is a little bit higher. So after yielding only, it will start buckling. So just after reaching the yield stage, it has reached the yield stage. So it has just entered the plastic stage. Okay, yielding has just started, but then it will buckle because the slenderness ratio is more. So in this stage, yield stress can be reached in some parts. Okay, so yield stress will reach in some parts of the compression elements. In the earlier case, yield stress was reached in every part of the section, but it will here in this semi-compact, that is why the name semi-compact, not fully compact. Yield stress will reach in some parts. Other parts, there will be still triangular variation of stress. Okay. And slender is in the elastic stage only. The cross sections in which the elements buckle locally even before attainment of yield stress. So even before achieving the yield state, the structure will buckle due to high slenderness ratio. So those structures are called as slender structures. See this and up to this portion here only it will start buckling, because see this is the proportionality limit or the elastic limit, whatever you call it. So this has start buckling and this stage is the slender. So those sections are called as slender section. This and yielding ke baad, this is after yielding, this is semi-contact. This is fully yielded, plastic moment has been achieved, started, hinges are formed, but rotation is inadequate. This is entire thing is achieved. Full rotation takes place, full plastic moment is developed, full mechanism is formed, everything is achieved 100%. So this is plastic. So these on this behavior only, the steel structures are divided into 4 classes. Okay. So this concludes today's class. In the next class, this is all about the theoretical portion of the first unit, that is theory of plastic structures. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll do design problems or numerical problems to understand the concept in a much better way. If once you understand the numerical part, things will be pretty much clear to you. So thank you for today.